it's just honestly not showing me any love back. Okay, but luckily I copied the message before he left, so that's fine. Okay, so they should have analysis skills, strategic planning abilities, as well as strong communication skills. They need to have at least a bachelor's degree in business management, and then 1 to 5 years or more experience in sales, in the sales field, or as a sales associate. Okay, does anyone else have anything that any job specs on a sales manager? Let me quickly show you mine that I have. Okay, so qualifications. Mine needs to have 5 years experience as a sales manager. Vanessa, I'm with you. I also, for me, it also feels like it's more my internet connection than VC Learn. But I mean, I've now been on 2 different connections and it's still not happening. So anyway, okay. So 5 years experience as a sales manager. I know, Vanessa, it's bad on my side too. Okay, 5 years field experience required. Then this one needs high ethics. You guys can see that they need high ethics. They say this manager needs to be of impeccable ethics. High integrity management will be essential. They need to have Excel skills as well. They say here that matric tertiary qualifications will be advantages. So that to me says that if you have matric or you have a tertiary qualification, that will be seen as an advantage, which is a little bit weird for me, because most positions you would at least need matric or in some cases a degree. Okay, you need a valid driver's license, you must have a proven track record of delivering exceptional results, and you must be passionate about hitting and exceeding your targets, which makes sense because you are a sales manager. Okay. Okay, guys, let's do the next one. The next one is an au pair. Who has anything for an au pair? Okay. So they must enjoy caring for children, yeah, because you're an au pair. Have at least 200 hours recent non-family practical childcare experience. This is quite interesting. So they say non-family. So if you have been looking after your own family members, it doesn't count. Okay, so they say non-family. So you must have worked for someone else outside of your family. Should be a secondary graduate, English speaking, no criminal records. We'll talk about criminal records as well. And then 12 months living within America. Okay. So the one I could find, I always like looking at job applications because you can see so much throughout these job application or job advertisements. So mine, okay, so let's quickly look what mine need. Oh yeah, driver's license. Okay, that makes sense because you're probably gonna have to drive the kids around. Okay, so guys, mine says working hours, live in Friday from 4 o'clock through to Monday at 8 o'clock. So that says to me that you will then have to stay there over the weekend. It says needs to be flexible as they may need help during the week on occasion. Okay, so from Friday to Monday, you essentially have to look after them, and then some days during the week. This is maybe not a very bad position. Okay, must be able to travel with the family to their holiday home. So flexibility is needed, guys. This is looking like a very good one. Okay, duties, you need to run the general family errands, engage in intellectually stimulating play activities. You need to bath the children, prepare their meals, occasional babysitting, and then obviously you need to travel with the family. Okay, the requirements are a mature male, a female, 25 and older, English speaking, calm and soft. I don't think I'm calm or soft, so maybe I'm going to struggle there. Patient and understanding, must have the energy to keep up with a toddler, and someone who has a flexible schedule. Okay, and then they have the salary there as well. So this one doesn't say anything about, requirements must have 12 consecutive months of formal childcare experience, excluding, similar to yours, Tembeka, excluding work done for friends and family. And this experience must be within the last 2 years. That's quite interesting as well. The fact that the experience must be within the last 2 years. Reliable car, obviously we get that one. Must have at least 2 contactable childcare references, clear criminal record, passion for children, must have matric, and you must also have a South African ID document. The interesting one for me is fraudulent CVs are punishable by law. All references are checked and fake references will be uncovered. Okay. So that part says to me that they've had fake references before and they've had fraudulent CVs before as well. Okay. So guys, the last one is a mechanic. Who has anything on a mechanic? Okay, so mechanic, be at least 16 years old, NQF level 1. We'll talk about the NQF levels later on in this chapter as well. Then we can, we'll come back to this one. Will pass in mathematics, have 4 years apprenticeship, okay, possesses excellent knowledge of mechanics, diesels, have a national certificate that shows the completion of mechanic courses. Okay, so guys, remember your NQF, like matric, for instance, matric is an NQF 4, an LLB degree, because you guys are studying 4 years, is an NQF 8. So NQF 1 is about grade 10. Okay, so it's about grade 10. Remember that you can split and go to a more practical. So from grade 9, you can leave school and you can go and essentially do your apprenticeships. Which mechanic will include that form of apprenticeship. The one that I had another good one because it had so many spelling mistakes. Yeah, fit for heavy work, enjoy working with their hands, because that's what they're going to do. They are going to work with their hands. Okay, so mine is urgently hiring. You need at least 6 years experience. Work on all small vehicles, petrol, diesel. You need to have your own tools. Okay, this is an interesting one. You need to have your own tools. And then you need to start on the 19th of July. Okay, so let's hope that this person did get this position. And your salary is 1,000 Rand per week. And it's preferred that you have matric. Okay. Can you work remotely? No. Makes sense, guys, because you can't really take a car home and go and work on it at home and then come back the next day. Okay, so the car needs to stay at the shop. We can't move the car around and take it to people's houses, for instance. Okay, so guys, let's continue with the rest of the chapter. I hope you guys now have a better idea on what job specification looks like. Remember, we said that it's about the job, it's not about the person. Okay, so we start with the job and then we go and look for the person that's going to fulfill that specific job. So the second phase we're going to look at is human resources forecasting. So just as much as we have to plan for this particular position, we also have to look towards the future. So we need to look at the demand for new employees, and that demand will be affected by the objectives of the organization. If the organization maybe wants to increase their profit by adding another product that they want to sell, then they know that they are going to have to employ more people that will be able to employ more people in the marketing department that can assist the other marketers to now sell this new product. So we need to make sure that there's a balance between the supply of employees coming into the workplace and the demand. We do not want an oversupply of employees, and we also do not want too little employees, so that the employees that we have is actually overworked. So we need to consider the economic growth. So this is, for instance, where we have to look at how is the business doing inside of the economy. Think, for instance, of a recession, or think, for instance, of like of COVID now, where a lot of people were retrenched. And the main reason why people were retrenched is just because factories closed, for instance, and there just was not enough work anymore. You guys know by now that my husband works in labor law, and he constantly works with retrenchments. And on Tuesday, he had to retrench employees at another company again. And the main reason why they had to retrench is because they said people are just buying less products. People are looking after their money. They don't want to spend as much. Remember that the people that are used to spending the money are the people whose salaries were cut. So now they also, or it's someone who's now the breadwinner inside of the house. And the first thing that you're going to let go of is that extra luxuries and products that are just not really necessary. On Sunday, I watched a program and they said they had to retrench. I'm not sure how many employees they have, but they had to retrench 40 people. So it is a rehabilitation center. And just because they didn't get any visitors because of COVID, there was no money coming into the rehabilitation center, and I had to retrench people, unfortunately. Then the new developments in the business. So what are we planning for the business? As much as, guys, and this is the happy rainbow, there is also people being employed. I've heard of so many people that were actually employed while we were in lockdown. Okay. So it's not only the bad side of retrenchments, people losing their jobs. There are also people that are finding employment while there is still COVID. So the new development, so is there maybe new factories? So we are going to open another office, and we are going to need more people that's going to man that specific office. Or we may be going to increase our distribution center, and we're going to need more employees that's going to work at the distribution center. And then the last one is the labor market. So what does the labor market look like at the moment? Where is there a skill shortage? What opportunities are available for the labor market at the moment? And then what is the labor turnover? So we have to look at what type of people are currently graduating, what qualifications do they have, what other skills do they have, what experiences do they have as well. And because you guys are first year, one of my students I spoke to, she's a final year student, and she said to me the other day she's really struggling to find work because for next year, because all the companies are saying that they want someone that has experience. And that is an old age question of how do I find it, how do I get experience if I have just finished studying? So the best tip that I can give you guys is during your holidays or when it's quiet, go and work. Okay, even if it's an internship, even if you are doing the filing. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry guys, it's just me and VC Learn that's continuing our love-hate relationship clearly. I thought if I am calm and collected, it will stop bothering me, but VC Learn just keeps on bothering me. Okay, anyway, so guys, what I was saying, just a tip is during holidays, go and look for something, even if it's for free, it's fine, that you can put on your CV. So when you actually one day legitimately start looking for work, you already have some experience inside of a legal office. Okay, even if you answered phones or you did some of the filing, it's something. Okay, it's better than having no experience. So when we look, the last phase is the human resources plan. So remember that we've now gathered information about what type of labor and what type of employee we are looking for. We've looked at the job itself, and now we have to go and compile a plan that's based on all of this knowledge that we have just gathered. So the human resources plan is to provide a definitive guideline for any size business as to how the human resources will be for in order to be prepared for tomorrow. If we know that in the next 2 or 3 years we are going. Sorry guys, I'm just quickly checking if anyone else is also struggling. Oh, well, it's like super duper easy. You call them. Just call them. Call them and say, hi, I am Olebecheng. I'm studying at Varsity College, and I would just like to know if you currently have any positions available in terms of filing, or if I can maybe come and shadow someone a little bit. So yeah, that's where you start. So what I would do if I'm you, and obviously I know this is going to change, but if there's a specific field of the law that you are interested in, like I know I'm interested in criminal law. My husband is obviously doing labor law. At his firm, there's a lady that's now busy with her articles, and she is very interested in environmental law. So if you know what you are interested in, then call up a law firm. I won't call the big ones. I won't call like a Adams and Adams, but Google some law firms, maybe the smaller ones, and say, hi, how are you? I'm very interested in whatever law you're interested in. And then say to them, can I come and shadow one of your legal practitioners for a day? I just want more experience in the law field. That's what you have. That's what you do. So just you have to get your name out there. And if the first person says no, you call the next one. If that one says no, you call the next one. I can promise you that there is someone that's going to say, oh yes, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome to come and shadow one of our legal practitioners. There are so many. You guys are going to have to speak to your other law lecturers as well. Remember, a lot of your law lecturers are actually practicing in the field. So they might know of other lawyers or advocates that like people to shadow them, or just need someone to do their filing, for instance. Okay, so that's what I would do from you guys. Just go and do it over the holidays. I promise you, it's a lot of fun. Okay, I promise you guys, you are going to enjoy it. Okay. So guys, yeah, I mean, guys, just do it. Pick up the phone, call, and yeah, okay. I think you'll like it. Um, what my husband will probably tell you is to go and sit in court, and that he doesn't like the court at all. But he will probably tell you go and sit in court and then go and bother some of the lawyers there, because some of them are also still busy with their articles, and a lot of the lawyers, they are still quite young, so they really want to share the information with you. So yeah, you can always just go to court as well, just hang around there a little bit. And that's what I always do when I have some time open. I just randomly go and sit into court. I sit into court cases just for fun. I just like it. So it's not that I am boring. It's just fun to go to court. Okay. So the way we ended was, what must we do today to be prepared for tomorrow? So if we know that in the next 5 years we are going to create build a whole new distribution center, then we know we need to start with a recruitment campaign now already, so that when we are building that new distribution center, we already have our employees in place, so we can just move to the new distribution center. So guys, when we actually now start with our recruitment campaign, we need to go and look for qualified talent. And where are we going to find them? So we are going to look at two factors. The first one is recruiting, and then we are going to look at talent selection as well. So under recruiting, we're going to look at recruiting from the inside, the outside, and then the recruitment procedure. So internal recruitment, with internal recruitment, we will specifically look inside of the company. So I don't know if you guys read about Adapt IT. So Adapt IT is a very, very big IT company. They are now being sold to a Canadian company, but the CEO resigned. I think it was on Tuesday. I saw the report that the CEO of Adapt IT resigned. There's some family issues with an ex-wife and a new partner, something like that. And they now have a new CEO. But obviously, that new CEO that they have now actually had another job. So now the job that that person had is now vacant. So this is where we fill our vacant positions with existing employees. And this is done through means of promotion. So there's a gap. Let's say the gap is in middle level management. Then we will go and look at lower level management, and we will try and see who do we think will fit into this job, who will be able to do this job, and then we will promote that person into that specific job. So we don't really have interviews here. We're not interviewing 5 different people. We already have our eye on someone that will then just move into that specific position. When we look at external recruitment, we are recruiting candidates from the Okay, let's continue. So guys, external recruitment is where we will then recruit someone from the outside of the organization. And this is where we will typically advertise the position on PNet or on Indeed, for instance. What we can also do is we can also have a combination of both internal and external recruitment. So we can first look inside of the company at who we would like to promote. If we can't find a suitable candidate, then we can open up this position to both internal employees as well as to anyone outside of the company. So for instance, if there might be a finance person that's always dreamt of being a marketing manager, and they just really want to they've always wanted to be in marketing, then they can apply for this position, but they are going to have to go through the same interview process as anyone that has applied for this position from outside of the organization. So what I want you guys to remember here is that internal recruitment will be a promotion, where external recruitment is about physically having to apply for the specific position. The benefits that we have of recruiting internally is that we already have all the information about the employee. We already know what their interests are, if they are willing to relocate, for instance. We already have all those information computerized on our system. The thing with external recruitment is that we are bringing in new talent. We are bringing in fresh talent. Someone that will see the company differently, someone that will maybe think differently about how we do things, that will have new ideas. And that is what we want. We want to bring the fresh, new talent into the company. When we look at our different recruitment methods, so guys, these are the ones that your textbook is mentioning. I agree with all of them except the radio and TV one. I've never heard advertisements for positions on radio and TV, except if it was, for instance, for a radio station or for a series on TV, for instance, that they will then recruit or post an advert, but it will be very, very specific to that particular radio station. So 5FM, 5FM might say, for instance, we are looking for a new DJ, and then they will just advertise that position on their radio station. The others, the most common one is newspapers or online adverts. You guys know this. If you go and look at a newspaper, there are advertisements of vacant positions. We can also have consultants and labor agencies. So these are agencies that will gather CVs from potential candidates, and then you can just contact them and say to them, this is what I'm looking for, and then they will send you some CVs that you can go through. You can also recruit through existing employees. So you can maybe say to your other employees, hi guys, I am looking for this and this and this and this. Do you maybe know of someone? And then they might end up not having a friend that will fit that exact description. And the last one is through a personal approach. So this is, for instance, where you will headhunt someone. So you might have someone in the eye from another company, someone that's really been doing well, that if a position goes vacant, you can contact them and say, hi, we are offering you this particular position, this salary, leave, blah, blah, blah. And then they will say yes or no. So an example that I can give here to you guys, I don't know, I think I've told you guys in the first class about if you guys like Formula One. I don't know if you guys watch Formula One, but there's a series on Netflix. It's called Drive to Survive. So it's just a documentary about Formula One cars. So the different teams there, we have Red Bull, we've got Mercedes, we've got McLaren as well, and they are constantly looking at the other drivers from the other teams. And if they feel that their own drivers aren't really performing as well as they thought they would, by the time that the other driver's contract is ended, they pick up a phone. They're like, hi, how are you? Would you like to come and join our team? Okay, so you don't apply to be a driver of a Formula One car. You get headhunted into that particular position. The team will contact you, essentially. You don't contact the team. So the next thing we're going to look at is talent selection. So when we look at talent selection, what happens here is now we have to go through a particular process of choosing the correct or the right person for our position that we have vacant. So where are we going to start? We're going to start with applications and shortlisting. We are going to look at their personal details, their work history, any achievements that they might have, hobbies, expectations. So what are their salary expectations, for instance? And do they comply with any of our requirements that we have? If we maybe like the positions that we looked at, if one of the requirements is that they need to have a degree and they don't, then we can put them aside because they do not meet the requirements that we have set out for this particular position. If they need to have 10 years experience, they only have 2 years of experience, we should put them aside because they do not meet the requirements. Then after we have now gone through, sifted through some of the CVs, we will invite the successful candidates for an interview, and then we will do a psychological assessment. So guys, I actually wanted to try and get you a psychometric assessment, but they are just so long. It's really such a long test to do, but I thought we could do one for fun. But what the psychometric or psychological assessment is about is it just analyzes you a little bit further. For instance, if you want to work at Boston College, they have a test that's called the integrity assessment. Why? Because at Varsity College, we work with students, we work with results, and we work with assessments. So you need to have a high degree of integrity. Okay. Then after that test, if the HR manager feels that we need additional testing, they'll do a diagnostic test. And the diagnostic test is just a test that will give them a little bit more information about you as a person. After the tests have been conducted, we will then go through to final selection. This is where we will compile a short list of our successful candidates. We will do a reference check. And guys, this is where a lot of people sometimes fall out of the bus, is with a reference check. What can sometimes happen is that your references are your friends, it's not previous work experience that you've actually had, or the references, you thought it was a good reference, and the person says, "Oh, no, do not employ that person. Like, do not, okay, employ this person. This is not the right person for your job." I gave this example to students in the other class at a previous job years ago that I had. I was in a management position. Okay, so when I mean creative, I mean that she was the type of person that would put butterflies on files, and she would color everything in. She was just a very creative person. She liked glitter and stickers and stuff like that. So she would always make invites, and she just had a really creative side. But she was not a very admin oriented person. And in that previous position that I had, it was also at a university. And she used to capture the marks of the students wrong, which was a big thing. That's like a big thing. So she eventually resigned, and I was one of her references. Not sure why, but anyway. So one day someone phoned me, and they said they actually phoned from a legal or a legal office, and they asked me about this particular candidate. And I asked them, what position would she be fulfilling? And they explained to me that she will essentially do filing, answering phone calls, scanning in of documents, typing, stuff like that. And I said to them, I would rather give you no reference than give you a bad reference. And the lady just pushed me and pushed me to give a reference. And eventually I was honest with her, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. This would not be the right candidate for this particular position. It's not because there's anything wrong with her. It's just that her personality is not suited for this particular position. So that is why when you one day choose your references, I know, Tabeka. Okay, I know. It was one of the hardest things I had to do because obviously you want people to have a job, but you can't lie at the same time, if it makes sense. So when you one day choose your references, choose them wisely. Okay, make sure that you choose someone that will give you a good reference. Okay, yeah, it just guys, after the fifth student thought they passed the module and you double check the marks and they were wrong, yeah, it gets to you. Okay, no jokes. It gets to you. Then you're like, this mark is wrong. This mark is wrong. This one is also wrong. Okay, it gets to you. So what I'm trying to say is that not everyone is always suited for a particular position. It just is what it is, unfortunately. Like for instance, if you want to put my husband into a caring position where he has to look after, like kittens, for instance, like I don't think that is going to work either. Okay, it's just based on your personality. It's based on who you are as a person. So let's quickly finish this one up. So some positions do require medical examination. For instance, if you are a minor, that not a minor like underage, but a minor that works in a mine, you will need to go for certain medical tests. If you are a pilot, for instance, you need to go for certain medical tests. If you are a doctor, you need to go for certain tests. For instance, also, if you are going to do that rope access management, where you are going to have to fix things on really, 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 really high buildings, you can't be scared of heights. Okay, like I'm super scared of heights. Really, I am. I will not be able to, I will not even apply for that particular position. Then we will maybe round it all off to 2 candidates here, and then we will make a job offer. So the first candidate might say, no, thank you so much. I found another job, or I want twice the amount of what you are offering me, or I'm not willing to relocate. Then we have to go back to the drawing board and go for our number 2 person. So our second candidate might be saying, oh, yes, awesome, thank you so much. This is the job I wanted. Then we can move on to onboarding, where they will accept the job offer. We will place them inside of the company. We will have induction, and then we will obviously have orientation just to make them more familiar with where are they going to sit, what are they going to do, who's their manager, and who are they going to have to interact with. Just the who's who inside of the company. Okay, so guys, I'm going to stop here for today. I'm not going to start at developing talent. I actually spoke to you guys so much about everything else except, well, we still did work. We still did what I wanted to do with you guys. So I'm going to stop here for today. And then we can continue next week when I am seeing you guys on CoLab again. We are still going to be on CoLab for next week. Hopefully then I'm going to have, we did work. You're right, Becca. We worked hard. Hopefully I'm going to have more fun stories. I have another story. We'll do it later on about when my previous job gave me the keys to lock and I was so super duper happy about it. But yeah, that comes later on in the chapter. I'm not going to tell you guys the story now. Okay, so guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you guys, if you guys have class tomorrow, enjoy class tomorrow, attend classes tomorrow, and have an awesome weekend. And then I'm going to see you guys next week, Monday, at 1 o'clock, and then we're going to continue with chapter 2. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye.